All right, talking about TwitchCon, it's the very first TwitchCon, obviously this past weekend, and it was 2 days. I was watching a good amount of the panels, as much as I could, and it seemed really great. A lot of big time streamers, just top streamers, as well as small channel owners were at the event and really taking in the panels and learning some things. I think a lot of the successful streamers were very generous with sharing just a lot of the business side of streaming, and really even sharing some of their techniques of monetizing and things like that. Obviously, there are a lot of other cool things, like just a lot of the like rock band tournament or rock band competition, or like Hall of Fame they introduced, and things like that. But overall, I think the convention, at least for me, from somebody at home, or the conference for me, from somebody at home, seemed to be really successful. But Steven, you were actually there, so what did you actually think of the?
I'm a really bad person to ask. I really
Why?
don't do much. Like, I don't have much fun at conferences. Like, I mean, it just seemed kind of like a smaller version of like a PAX
Yeah,
conference. There was some
definitely.
gaming related stuff there. There was a lot of there were a lot of panels. I didn't get to catch too many. I caught a little bit of the StarCraft one where they had the guys explaining like there was like the AMA or whatever with some of the I think some of the writers or whatnot. But
What'd you do during the day then, if you weren't?
when I went, I only went for Friday. But when I was there, I just hung out with. There were like I think like 7 or 8 fans showed up. We just played poker the entire time. That's all I did.
You just played poker? Why? What? Was that pre-planned, or did you just do that on the fly?
Well, I originally went there. That the whole point of me even going there was because your mom said she was going to share a room with me, and she decided to bail out, so I had nothing to do like all fucking Friday. So I found a couple of fans, and we just started playing poker. No, I don't know. Usually when I go to an event like that, it's just to
Just hang out with fans and things like that.
yeah.
Well, one of the things that was announced, they obviously announced some new features for Twitch, and the big ones all had to do with just videos, VODs, or even just offline videos. First one being you being a channel owner are able to play a video list now when your channel's offline, so you don't actually have to be live to actually be broadcasting anything. And lots of interesting ideas. Things like, I think the first thing that comes to people's mind is like having more of a traditional TV channel type of thing, where you just string a bunch of VODs together and just kind of play like 24/7 type of thing, and hopefully whoever stays on your channel can see it. The channel doesn't appear in the whole ranking, the category rankings, which is nice. That would be ridiculously bad for everybody, I think, if they did that. But it does give people the ability to keep viewers on their channel, and maybe even more so create a even larger type of community around their channel. What do you guys think of that feature?
Well, I mean, look, it's definitely something that needs to happen. I think we all know that streaming isn't really being utilized to its full potential. I've talked about this a lot. I think I mentioned it on last week's show, actually, that I think the way Twitch should be going is it should be almost like a public access TV station that's online. I want to see what crazy content we can get. I'm sick of watching streams and it's like, here's an overlay, here's an anime version of what I would look like if I lived in a cartoon. Here's a camera in the bottom right, and you just watch me play games. And every time there's a donation, and maybe it's got voice to chat, and they're like, "Thank you, Destiny, you massive artist. Here is $5 or whatever." All right, and then I go, "Hey, thanks for the donation, dude. Now, Draven's really hard because you got to catch these spinning axes. Fuck, this game's broken, man." And I'm tired of seeing the same shit. Like, let's see some, where's the first eSports fucking sitcom? Where's I don't know. Fuck it, I haven't even got any ideas. That's why I'm doing the same shit I'm complaining about. But the point is that we're not utilizing what this could do. Like, even talk shows run a risk of if they're not game related, they could get took down. So yeah, I want to fucking see. Let's run some VODs. Let's talk about shit that's tangentially related to gaming. Maybe it's got nothing to do with gaming at all. Twitch have done some wrestling stuff lately, comic stuff. This is all super interesting, and there is this crossover appeal. Obviously, big on the music. Why not, man? Why can't we have more of this? It should just be completely open and free. And I like the idea of running VODs and being able to queue up a full 24 hours of broadcasting with pre-recorded and reruns, just like a normal TV station. If they can pull it off, and it can all be monetized and monetized at a healthy level, I think it's going to be, again, the next evolution of streaming. But that said, we know they're only doing this because obviously YouTube around the corner,
Yeah.
and we know they've got some sick things up their sleeve, right?
Yeah, and they announced some additional features that are more VOD oriented. More like the YouTube being
Like
able to being able to upload videos to
Oh,
Twitch.
fuck.
You can do that, and
That's actually really, really scary.
why's
Because
that?
if Twitch works on their VOD, that's actually really scary. If Twitch works on their VOD structure, then it'll probably become part of the contract that you have to endorse their VODs in order to be a Twitch partner. Like you won't be able to upload videos to YouTube anymore, which would be a really, really, really big deal.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that direction. Hope that doesn't quite happen. Most people right now are still doing both, right? They're usually more focused on one or the other. Either you're more of a YouTube person or you're more
Sure,
of a Twitch,
but they're
they're
depending on
double
like the
monetizing.
game you're in, like you can make a more than a pretty penny on YouTube. If you look at like Hearthstone, it's a great example of people that have really good
Good what?
good cross monetization between YouTube and
Yeah.
Twitch.
Yeah.
Like without even much effort. Like if you
It's
play
definitely
Hearthstone
much
or a
effort.
game
I mean, it's just like you
or a
hire
League of-
you just hire a video editor and they just
Yeah, and
like do
it's-
some cool things to your gameplay videos, and then all of a sudden you have like 200,000 views, right? Depending on who
Yeah.
you are.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's not a focus for a lot of those people. But
Sure.
yeah, if you bring it back to the VOD, I mean, the biggest thing about the VODs for Twitch for me is that the CPMs are just not close for at least personally for me. I mean, maybe some of the top streamers
not even in the same realm. I
Yeah.
don't, like I said, I haven't considered Twitch income part of my, or Twitch ad revenue as part of my income for a long time.
Yeah. So I mean, they're gonna have to improve that. Not to mention, I mean, obviously they're just starting with the VOD features, but there's just so many tools and things on YouTube
Steven,
right now. It's gonna take a while.
Can you explain like I'm five? Okay, so it would have made sense to me that as Twitch became bigger and reached more people, that the ad revenue potential would go up, because that's generally how it works on projects I've worked on before. Like, you run a website, your hits, your reach increases the amount you can charge for ad space. And yeah, you've got deliverables that you need to hit, but you reap more rewards, you get more money in. Now, Twitch is obviously a phenomenon. It's grown to this size, yet every streamer is saying our revenue's down, CPM's not really worth it, the money's made in the subscriptions and the donations. So why is that?
I feel like I'm gonna get in trouble for this. I don't know. I can only guess. Like if I had to make it totally fucking
You
uneducated-
do have to guess. You
if
do
I had
have
to make
to
it
guess.
total no like I really don't. It's not like I have inside information. But like my totally uneducated guess would be that in the beginning ad revenue might have been sold disingenuously. Like maybe they said that the fill rate was higher or something along those lines. I don't really know. That would be something like that's something that Twitch has like never commented on ever.
Well, fill
like,
rates were probably, yeah. I mean, they were an issue, like to start off, but I don't think they have as much of a problem with fill rate now, as their sales team is probably huge at this point, and probably getting a good number of advertisers, in my opinion. But ad block's obviously an issue, right? Ad block's always been a huge issue.
But people were making money when ad block was still an issue. I don't know.
Yeah, like
Yes,
AdBlock has
yeah,
always been
you're
a thing.
right.
Like the amount of money that I would say, if I had to guess right now, I would say that Twitch ads pay anywhere from and like a lot of people will throw numbers around like it's just exaggerating, but like using like real facts and numbers. Like I would say that Twitch revenue is probably, I want to say, anywhere from 10 to 20 times lower than what it used to be. That means that if you had a month where you would have made $5,000 off of ad revenue in the past, now you're probably making anywhere from $250 to $500 off of the same number of viewers and same number of commercials. It seems. Like I don't know what the explanation is. I really don't. That's one of the things I've never understood. Ad revenue on Twitch, it's just not irrelevant. It's not irrelevant. It's just not
Still
relevant
money.
to anybody's
I mean,
income.
It's
But
still income.
it
It's
is, but
just-
it's like it's such an absurdly small amount of money that like you, I guess like so like to bring it up. I actually maybe I shouldn't say this. I don't even run commercials anymore.
I know. I mean,
If I look back to the last month where I tried really hard to run commercials, which I think is July. Okay, so in July, I tried really hard to run commercials, which this means that I run 6 commercials an hour, okay? And
Yeah,
like
that's a
I've gone
lot.
through my stats and verified or whatever. I even talked to with Hafu about this to compare numbers, verify that I'm running all these commercials as much as I should be. Okay, so for my income right now, if you include all of my revenue streams, right? Like it's a decent income in the United States, right? I make more than 6 figures, okay, doing all the gaming shit. On the YouTube ad revenue for July, I made $494,
Wow.
meaning that
How many views is
all
that? How many views is that
that's over
total?
30 days.
I know, but just do total views for the month. What is
Total
that?
views for the month? Okay, hold on.
It should be just the number at the bottom, I think.
I think. No, I don't. Is there a number at the bottom? No, I've got to go to the stats part. I can bring it
Yeah.
up, but the like that's so it's less than like it's like maybe 5% of like my total income. Like it's almost an insignificant figure. Like this doesn't even cover the child support that I pay every month for my kid. Like, it's a pretty like that's like 2 car payments.
Yeah.
What, right? $400 or $500 a month. Like,
Well,
hold on. Okay, so like if I look, what did
beat.
you want?
He wanted the total number of views. Just
Well,
to let you
Like
know,
unique visitors or what?
Views.
thi-
Can you
this
give me
month I made
Total
$29, guys.
$29.
$29, and that's a record. That's a record for me. So.
Is video play what you're looking?
Yeah,
is
video
that...
plays. Video plays.
Okay. Sorry, hold on. This guy's trying to talk. All right. It's loading. For July is what that came from.
Should be like just right at the oh, actually you're going backwards, yeah. So
I don't know. It's got the little circle thing, so I'm assuming that it's loading. Sorry, keep talking. It's loading.
No. I think
No,
we need to build drama.
exactly building drama here.
Do we get like a drum roll? Like something. This could be
There we
good.
go.
Like.
The total video plays were about 660,000.
Okay. So basically, like, I would 80 cent CPM probably, something like that, which is pretty low. I mean,
Well, but that's
that's
just
including
video
ad
plays.
block.
That
and stuff,
doesn't
too.
include number of commercials ran. If you want actual CPM, if you are we
Well,
allowed to do
yeah,
this?
sure. It obviously has something to do with commercials, but it's whatever you do, whatever your natural
Well,
behavior is, right? It's,
Maybe if you hadn't have betrayed Twitch and gone to owned, then you
negotiate
would have
better.
a better CPM now, Steven. Do you ever think about
Okay.
that?
Fuck off. Okay, so now if you wanted to calculate actual CPM there, then what you would go for is you would go for number of commercial breaks, right? We'll look for number of
Well, you
commercial
divide by
breaks
that,
July,
yeah.
and then divide, yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It's whatever you did. It doesn't even matter how many commercial breaks you do. It's like if
Well,
your
yeah, the
viewers
number of
aren't used
commercial
to, yeah,
breaks,
you know what I mean. Like if your users aren't or viewers aren't used to you running commercials, then that's what your natural broadcasting behavior is, and that's what your income is, right?
Sure.
Like Richard, how many commercials you run? $29.
See, here's the
like
thing,
like
right?
none,
'Cause,
right?
I know, right? So, like, I listen to Steven. Like, Steven probably thinks I don't listen to him, but actually, he's a great source of information for me about the streaming world. I listen to everything he says. I dote on his every word, and
Man,
I think
okay.
he's possibly Christ actually incarnate. I think that's a real possibility. That's true. So he told me right off the bat, like, there's just you're never gonna make like if this is. If the revenue you get from streaming is like your major income, you're gonna have a very bad time. Like, you know, it's not gonna be fun for you. So I don't even bother running the ads actually. I'd rather just give the viewers like a positive experience and then direct them to my Patreon or direct them to subscribe or whatever. That makes more sense. I think that's more almost like, for starters, it's a known quantity. Like, I can look at that Patreon number and I know maybe, you know, bar $100, $200 either way, all those payments are going to come in at the end of the month.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's an absolute set amount. Whereas a core streaming revenue, it's a lottery. You don't really know what you're going to get month to month. On top of that, it's the same with subscribers. You make the money from the subscribers. So, you know, I did think about it for a time. Like, maybe I just go full on into the streaming and leave all the shit that causes hassle behind. But ultimately, it's too unknown a quantity. Like, there's no way I could bring myself to do it. So I just opt out of the ads. The way I look at it is, I'd be making no money to give my viewers a worse experience to serve ads for a company that don't even pay me to stream on their service. So what the fuck would I do that for? There's no win in that equation for me or my viewers. So
I
I
thought there
just
was a
don't.
metric to show the number of commercials seen, but I guess there's not. I can see the number of commercials I showed, but I can't see the number of times. Like it says I ran 350 commercials that month, but I don't know how many people saw them. I thought that metric was there, but
Yeah, I don't think
regardless, I
there's-
mean, like
yeah.
you can see that like
Yeah.
the commercial, the ad revenue is a very, 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 very small number.
Yeah, it definitely
If you
is.
compare this to like in the glory days of Twitch ad revenue, when I was playing StarCraft 2, back when I would hold even anywhere from like 4,000 to 5,000 viewers for like 8 to 10 hours, like those days were like $300, $400, $500 days easy. Like in those
Yeah.
months, like somebody of my size, or I guess I was the only person my size, but like with the money that I was making every day, I was making like 5,000 to 8,000 a month in only ad revenue. Only ad revenue. That's it. So that's no donations, no sponsorships. Like it was absurd. Like you could make a living off of Twitch ad revenue. Like it was the major component of my income back then. But I don't know why. Like I said, this is one of those things that like Twitch has never really spoken about. I'm not sure what's going on or what changed it or what, I don't know. And like Richard said, it seems like it kind of went backwards. Like I don't understand how the ad revenue went from being really, really good to kind of, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure.
I mean, this
just
all
feels
comes
like
back.
with growth.
Well,
What?
Yeah, so I was going to say, it just feels like with growth that everything would go up, right? Like it feels like with growth everything shrank away. You know, there's like
Well,
there
that's-
isn't
Well,
a-
not.
I mean, this-
Hold on.
I mean-
Okay, so I want to take a quick break before Richard goes on his fucking shitting on Twitch.
No, I'm not going to show Twitch. I'm not going to.
For the most part, let me bring up a couple good things. Okay, Twitch used to have some major fucking problems in the past. The biggest problem being that if you were in Europe, you were constantly cucked and fucked. Your inability to watch Twitch. This is why competitors like Owned actually thrived for a while. It's because if you lived in Europe, you weren't watching Twitch streamers because they were lagging like a motherfucker. For the most part, Twitch's CDN at the moment, not for the most part, but Twitch's CDN at the moment for streaming is unmatched. Like the work that they did in building up that CDN is like the #1 fucking barrier to streamer. If you wonder why other companies don't exist as a streaming platform, it's because of the CDN that Twitch built. If you wonder why Hitbox or whatever, with some of its features that are superior to Twitch, doesn't compete with Twitch, it's because Hitbox couldn't handle 1,000th of the traffic that Twitch does, right? Anybody can serve high quality content to very few people, but serving as much bandwidth as Twitch does, which is like third or some shit on the internet, it's some insane amount of bandwidth that Twitch serves, like on that CDN, reliably around the world, it's very fucking hard to do. Such that I think that Twitch is the only streaming company that can do it right now. So Twitch has gotten a lot better at managing that stuff. So a lot of things that Twitch have improved. It was just the ad revenue got much worse, and I don't understand why. And the only reason I brought this up, and I'm giving you the extreme disparity between what I used to make and I remember what I do now, is to bring it back to that point where if they were to start being serious about their VOD system and they wouldn't let you post videos on YouTube, that's disconcerting because people that make a living off of ad revenue, or if ad revenue is a major component of their revenue, those people would be worried. Okay, sorry. So let me get all that out of the way. I love Twitch. I'm all there. And then Richard, go ahead and take it away.
No. I wasn't going to shit on them anyway. Like, you're absolutely right. There's a reason why they've been successful. That's one of them. I'm a Twitch partner too, technically.
Okay.
I've got a purple hoodie, bro.
We all, obviously we
you
all.
know what I'm saying? So, I like Twitch. I turned down. I could have joined multiple other streaming platforms. They were offering me cash money to do it, possibly. And I didn't go. Like, I didn't go because I wanted to stay on Twitch.
Well, you didn't want those five viewers every night, every time you stream?
Well, no, it's not even about that. I mean, I honestly believe my fan base is pretty loyal enough that it would follow me over. It's like you wouldn't get the incidentals. You might not reach new people the same way you would on Twitch. But ultimately, it was nothing to do with that anyway. It was the fact that I've said this story a few times. On Christmas, I got a Christmas card, and it was actually signed legitimately from everyone in the Twitch offices with like little references and memes and jokes that only I would get. And you realize, you've worked with these people a long time in other capacities, and they sent me some hoodies and they sent me some gifts and a beer bottle.
That's all you need to keep Richard happy, man.
But it is because I'm an asshole and I'm not money focused. It's the little things that win me over, So like I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's turn down all that sick piles of cash to stay streaming on Twitch. But that still doesn't explain to me, and this is definitely something that I hope they can work on moving forward, because they're going to need to do this if they're about to go head to head with YouTube. And I would argue that they're going to lose some of the big streamers because they're YouTubers primarily.
Yeah.
And YouTube are going to cut them some crazy fucking deals. You're going to get all this extra stuff on the VODs. Like, for example, I don't know if you've seen how this works, Stephen, but with YouTube, now it's like, let's say you had 150,000 viewers watching you on stream, then you upload that stream as a VOD. The 150,000 viewers carries over, and it counts towards the total amount of sort of views and clicks and revenue in both VOD form and live form. So I mean that's like obviously going to be hugely
Well, that leads back to the whole CPM
right.
question.
That's
But Twitch has the whole Twitch has like multiple ways to monetize right now, which YouTube doesn't have available to everybody.
I would say that right now, I would say that YouTube will need a third launch. I don't think that YouTube is taking it seriously again. I was wondering, like, I was actually considering making that switch to
You were just kissing
the gaming live thing, the YouTube gaming live thing. Wait, I was just what?
You're just kissing Twitch's ass, and now you're saying
I'm not kissing Twitch's ass because I was legitimately considering switching. I was legitimately considering switching because it looked really lucrative. But for whatever reason, it seems like YouTube, for whatever fucking reason, I don't know why, just don't want to take it very seriously. The launch for that YouTube gaming live shit was like really botched. They didn't have any of their big fucking streamers or any of their big fucking YouTubes on board with it. I don't know why.
I think they're waiting because, look, so my understanding of it is they came into the eSports space and they talked to some teams and some individuals about the potential of streaming over there. This definitely happened, and Twitch were like, these guys are under contract, you need to back the fuck up.
Right.
And then I think what YouTube are going to do is they're coming up with a strategy on how best to approach the beast that is eSports. Like I say, the YouTubers, they're going to get them. The YouTubers that stream on Twitch, they're going to get them. I got no doubt about that in my mind. What's going to be interesting is what strategy YouTube are going to have for esports, and I reckon they're going to go down the route of trying to get exclusive broadcasting for like tournaments and that kind of thing. I think that makes more sense. I think there's more money potentially in that.
Really?
Than there would be in individual streamers, and they've done this in the past. They did it with sports. They did it with the Indian Cricket League and a few other things. So they've already tested the proof of concept there.
It's crazy.
It won't be till 2016 anyway.
I would focus on your own first, man. Like that's like the very first thing you should do, and that's kind of what Twitch is probably focused on. Just you got to keep your main streamers. There are people that are heavy on one side or the other, and you got to make sure those folks stay first, and then like try to basically convert people in a way. But yeah, I think the day that the exclusivity clause comes out is going to be like a little bit of a scary day, like especially if it comes soon. I think if it comes soon, it's going to cost a lot of people a good amount of money because, like you said, YouTube gaming isn't quite where it is yet. Like neither of the competing feature or tools are even close to the competitor right now.
And let's not underestimate as well. There are a number of games developers that feel particularly embittered towards Twitch because when the big Amazon buyout happened and everybody in Twitch got some fucking mega bucks and got to keep their job, there was a lot of that was kept so clandestine and so hush hush. There was a number of developers that were kind of like, well, hang on a minute, like we helped build your platform. We helped make it a success by allowing you to broadcast our games in almost like a laissez-faire manner. Now, I know that Blizzard, for example, they looked into buying their own streaming platform, which is a statement of intent, is pretty,
When was this?
I think, well, this was it may even have been this year. It might have been definitely late last year. So that was conversations that were happening at that time. I was made privy to some of those conversations, and of course, nothing went ahead. But these definitely, I think it's not all free love and wow, Twitch has done so much for gaming. I mean, they're kind of thinking, well, what do we get out of the Amazon deal? Fuck all. Like, so I think they leverage some of that ill feeling.
I mean, they get plenty of marketing. What are you talking about? This whole thing is a marketing play for developers. So like thinking they're entitled to a piece of that kind of thing is ridiculous.
Well, no, I'm not saying they think they're entitled. What I'm saying is I think that it was like, the move came in, people were a little bit upset about it. I think, we know as well, like, Activision, for example, with the Call of Duty thing, we know they've had like deals with MLG for the competitive COD League. I'm just saying there's cards to be played that developers might want to work with other streaming platforms ahead of Twitch based on my understanding of the current state of play. It won't apply to everybody. Certainly new games and new games developers without established audiences and stuff, they're going to want to be on Twitch without a shadow of a doubt. But so I just feel there was it left a bit of a sour taste, I think, with some of the big developers that they missed out on what they perceived to have been maybe at least a fucking heads up it was happening and in some cases maybe even a cut of some money.
Yeah. That's true. I'm just there'll be a big day where there's going to be some kind of flagship YouTuber that's going to go, and it's going to be interesting to see who that is. That's going to be first. It's a big risk right now. It's a big risk for anybody that's a big YouTuber right now I think just to go solely on YouTube gaming because of just the sub no. Even folks that don't like aren't full-time streamers, they still have a large amount of subs, and the sub revenue, Steven, like you have to agree, is definitely significant. Even though and the more successful folks actually have a really good cut compared to just the normal thing too. So that losing tens of thousands of dollars from there like immediately is it is probably a little much for people to take right off the bat. So it'll take YouTube gaming to become, I think, pretty well established before I think folks switch over. Unless they're offered a ton of money. When I was
talking about the botched launch, though, I was just talking about like not even like the big YouTubers. Like they should have had like PewDiePie and shit like streaming.
Well, that's what, yeah, of course.
But they didn't when they. That's why I said I don't think that Google is taking the.
Yeah, but hang on. I thought what happened with the whole PewDiePie?
Yeah, I mean, are they allowed to do? Is PewDiePie allowed to even do that if he's on Twitch?
Yeah, this is what I mean.
Can't do that.
Yeah. Wait, is PewDiePie on Twitch?
Yeah, PewDiePie's on Twitch. I saw PewDiePie like the other day on Twitch, I believe.
I mean, Google has money. They could have bought that contract out. Like.
Yeah, but do you want to be the first guy to do it? I mean,
does PewDiePie, who makes millions off of YouTube, want to be the first guy to promote YouTube's new gaming platform? Yeah, I would think so. Google would want him to. No, like
that's probably. Yeah, I mean, I don't actually know how successful PewDiePie's stream is like on Twitch. I mean, I've seen it a few times, but I don't know if it's like heavily established. He makes a ton of money on YouTube. I mean, everybody knows that. So maybe it's not even that big of a.
I think the reason there was so many people like that weren't at that launch or weren't coming out and being like, hey, we're going to stream on this and all that is there's so many like contracts and things in place because you got to understand you're taking a VOD only system that's moving into a streaming platform, and it wants to take the people that are utilizing its services to make money from the VOD system that already have existing contracts with streaming platforms. It's a fucking legal minefield. I think that's why.
But Google has the money to negate all of that if they really wanted to take that launch seriously. Like none of the fucking Twitch contracts, anything like that, would stop YouTube. Like if YouTube was going to offer you like a fucking like 5-figure, 6-figure one-time fucking payment to buy you out to stream on their platform, like people would take that.
Let's be clear about
that. Happened on Zubo.
This is a fact. I think this is verifiable. I've certainly heard it from a number of people. I don't think Amazon have ever lost a lawsuit. So obviously, like remember, Twitch is an Amazon company. They're going to be legal up to the.
Amazon has never lost a lawsuit. There's no way.
Well, but even if that was true, there's nothing in your Twitch contract that they can sue you over. Like it's understood that if you want to break the contract, you just have to write them, and then in 30 days, your contract is considered null and void. Or if you do things that invalidate your contract, there's not like a huge penalty. Like it's all written very clearly. It's not like you can violate a contract and then all of a sudden they're like, oh no, fuck you. Now we're going to come and take everything. Oh no, like the terms for violating your contract are very clear in the Twitch contract. You forfeit, future revenue, and that's it. Like you just
but here's the thing, like one thing you've got to give Twitch credit for is they've never held people to those like contracts to like such a ridiculous degree. They've always let people go and pursue more revenue and other things, and indeed I've talked to many Twitch staff and their mantra is they'll be back. That's what they've always said. They'll be back. And it's like, they're not even saying that in a kind of, they'll be back kind of way. They're just saying, look, they'll come back to us. And that's why, teams like Fnatic that have done cash grabs and stuff like that, they're welcome back with open arms. You can come stream on Twitch. Steven, of course, who's been with other streaming platforms, he's welcome back on Twitch. No problem. Be a Twitch partner. It's all good. They always believe people are going to come back to them. Is that going to apply in 2016 when you've got a YouTube gaming streaming platform, maybe some others that are going to come out? MLG are wanting to make a big push on their streaming platform after what I would argue is, they've kind of fudged their particular monopoly they had with Call of Duty, and they haven't been successful with some of the other things. They haven't grown as a platform like they would have wanted to, but they're going to make a big play in 2016 as well. There's going to be new companies we haven't even heard about. That's before even, who's to say Apple isn't going to toss its fucking hat into the ring? We have no idea what's going to come. So Twitch know that they're going to face some real competition. And I think maybe now they're actually starting to enforce these contracts that they've been so lax about in the past. And I think this is probably part of the problem, stuff that's gone on behind the scenes.
nothing wrong with them enforcing their contract. That's the whole point. Like, why you
No,
have
no,
a
no.
contract if they don't?
Again,
Yeah.
I have no issue with that whatsoever. But they've been very lax in the past, and I think this has given an idea that people can just do whatever they want. You know, certainly we know lesser streaming platforms compared to Twitch have literally gone out and reached out to talent that are contracted to Twitch, held talks, agreed a salary, and been like, yeah, they're joining us now. And Twitch are like, there's a contract here, though, bros. And they're going, yeah, well, fuck it. We're not going to run that. Bye, bye, bye. And Twitch just have to sort of say, okay, we can haul them over the coals and lock them into a contract and the community hates us. Or we can just let them go and know that they'll be back a little bit later and we've got a bit more, a bit better footing for negotiations when they do. And they've always gone for the second one. So I definitely think there's some political stuff at play. Like
there are. Even just looking at purely features and, you know, you want a community based around your channel, right? And Twitch has the chat. Twitch has just features that are more conducive of that sort of thing than YouTube right now. YouTube's like all that stuff is usually based around comments and that sort of thing, right? So Twitch has a lead, in my opinion, in terms of those kind of community facilitating tools. And hopefully this just means that both companies will just continue to innovate. And it's only good for us. Innovate from the standpoint of revenue channels, innovate from all kinds of things.
Certainly what they're not going to be doing is innovating in the sense that they're going to, right. So Twitch obviously is going to be adding things so you can upload VODs now and just have VODs on your channel. People can comment on it and that kind of thing. That's going to be a feature they're looking to implement. So basically Twitch, the battle between Twitch and YouTube is going to go like new heights, man. Like everything that YouTube does, Twitch want to implement into Twitch in their own Twitch way. Everything that Twitch does, YouTube want to implement in their own way. So they are going to start making people decide. That's going to happen.
Yeah, well, sure, they're going to have that kind of checkbox feature thing like on each side and try to cover each one, but I think while they're doing that, they're going to be coming up with new ways, you know, newer things to be able
and that's what I mean when I say doing things the Twitch way, doing things the YouTube way. They'll all have their unique spin, but essentially they want to be the same one-stop shop for streaming and VODs.
Right.
And that's before, as I said, we even get into broadcasting rights for major tournaments, which is going to be the next big battlefield of 2016. It's absolutely here. It's definitely going to happen. Who's going to get the exclusive rights to broadcast the biggest events? You know, this Turner League that's coming out on TV, they're going to need to partner up with a digital partner, right? So how do we make... and that's going to be hugely lucrative for whoever secures it. So... I have no insight as to whether they'll go down that route or whether they'll put it out on a platform themselves. No decisions have been made, but that's going to be the battlefield. That's what's going to be happening. And the only way that can happen successfully is if both sites look at the deficiencies the other one has and start offering those features collectively in-house, which is what they want to do. That's what we saw at TwitchCon with some of the announcements. You know, clearly Twitch is looking to become more like YouTube and YouTube's looking to become more like Twitch.
Yeah. Well... They'll try to figure out they'll try to figure out some new like killer tools and that sort of thing just to differentiate themselves. But
I think it's crazy.
It's going to be great. It's going to be good for us. I mean, I think generally speaking, it's going to be good for us. There's going to be more ways for us to make money, in my opinion.
That's that old mantra of like competition is good and pretty much everything holds true.
Sure.
But I still think it's absolutely crazy that one of the things that I hear when I talk to people is I'll always stick with Twitch because of the chat, because, you know, the Kappa faith won't have any meaning over on YouTube or whatever. Like, people actually say that. Like, what the fuck?
I mean, they can copy that.
Yeah, culture's important, dog.
Like,
I mean, shoot, Steven's copied enough of those emoticons anyways, you know, it's like, it's cool. All right, let's see. Moving on. Okay, SC2VN, which is I know not really a Richard's thing, but I did want to cover this a little bit.
I'm gonna get a drink.
You're such a loser.
I'm just gonna get a drink.
All right, so SC2VN. This is.
I'm gonna drink real fast.
Oh, shut up. All right, should we just take a quick break then, or?
God. What? The whole point of us getting drinks is for you to get through the topic while we're on here.
Shut up.
So taking a break kind of defeats the whole purpose of that.
SC2VN. So this is it's not really a game. You can kind of classify it somewhere between game. It's more of a visual novel that a friend shindigs, right? I think a lot of people
still don't understand. Can you explain this to me? Do people play visual novels outside of like hentai shit or not?
I
was always under the impression that visual novels only exist so that people can like jerk off to like hentai shit. Is that not true?
No,
or?
there are some other visual novels for sure, but I'm not gonna say it's like
Okay,
just
'cause
hentai.
that's
It's
all I
like
know.
popular because I actually don't know. But I don't typically watch graphic novels or visual novels, so this has been probably one of like a handful I've ever seen. But it's a friend, Tim Young, Shindigs, and also TJ Huckabee. They started a Kickstarter a while back, and I remember they started this even before they started the Kickstarter. So I remember seeing like very, very early versions of this, and I believe it was 3 years ago. I'm looking at the Kickstarter right now. Let me see. And yeah, it was October. No, 2013 was the delivery. So obviously they had some setbacks, but you can see the Kickstarter here. I believe it was like 3 years ago or something like that they started it. And for those you don't know, it's packaged like a game, and you can find it on Steam now because it's actually been greenlit. So you can download it for free. It's just easy to get, but it's basically this visual novel that's about being a StarCraft 2 player, just the trials and tribulations of being a StarCraft 2 player. Steven, did you get through most of it, or did you finish it?
didn't play.
You didn't play?
I'm
You
lying,
suck,
but I'm not like
man.
that style of game. Like I'm not big on like the visual novel. Like I also would never play like like that Walking Dead game.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's not. It's just not kind of
That's
game
a
I
good
play.
game,
I'm not
too. You
shitting on it
should-
right now. I heard a
yeah.
lot of really surprisingly good things about it. Like a lot of people
Yeah.
were expecting that game to be like pretty fucking bad, but it ended up being like pretty good. I heard a lot of people were really surprised by how good it was.
Yeah. So I've been pleased with it. I think I'm about 80-90% through it. I haven't quite gotten to the end. I just play like a little bit each day or once every other day. And yeah, I think it's been really great. I mean, it starts out, it just throws you straight in, and it just like it's almost depressing in the beginning because it's just like they just jump right into how hard it is to be just a StarCraft player, and like the actual main character goes to Korea, and that sort of thing, like without even having any success to start off with, and just how they kind of grind through that. But I think
So
the
is it
storytelling is quite good.
interactive? Like,
Yeah,
do
it's interactive. There's like different forks you can take. Like in the very beginning, you can choose whether you want to be a male gamer or a female gamer. And
How very progressive.
That was the worst example of it.
well, I know it's a bad example. I was gonna kind of get. There's a reason for that. But anyways, later on you can choose just what strategy you want to take in a game, and I don't know how different the actual.
That was one complaint that I heard some people levied against the game, was that if you chose different strategies, it seems like a lot of people were saying like the builds were like kind of crazy stupid, and that it kind of hurt a game a little bit. I don't know how.
I wasn't
true
able
that
to
is.
choose. I haven't tried choosing different forks and seeing if it, how far it goes and then kind of converges back. But
Sure.
But yeah, it is interactive in that way. Like it does ask you for choices every so often. But anyways, I think it's really great, really well done. The music's good. I think the artwork's really great, and the story. I think the story's told.
What
quite well.
path do you have to go through to
Oh,
have
God.
sex with a big alien tentacle being at the end?
That's another
Dude, you
thing that people were really
God.
complaining about, is that there wasn't any romantic plots involved in the game at all.
No,
Some
yeah.
people were like, I wanted to date MKP and shit.
Because when
Yeah,
I
no.
played
That's
these
what it's
visual
legit
novels
shit.
before in the past, like it doesn't seem to matter which way you go, you always end up having sex like on a crowded bus or something.
Yeah, Richard
Such
Lewis
an
is
idiot.
what Richard Lewis is talking about is like my experience with VNs. That's what I
What?
thought that they all were. I thought that it was all just like
Hentai.
sex based. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know. Do you know the space better, Richard? You seem to be an expert in this.
Well, no, I've seen a few actually, because obviously, I do follow sort of indie games development stuff, and this is, the visual novel is kind of a new genre we've seen emerge in the last couple of years. A lot of them do seem to have this, sexual or at least romantic element to it. It's interesting. I just thought that would kind of be included in this. Far be it from me to say, sociologically speaking, that this is obviously a projection of male fantasy into the gaming genre, and it's just another part of the patriarchy and the misogyny inherent to all gaming culture. Far be it from me to imply that, because I'm sure that's absolutely what will get said. But yeah, visual novels seem to be all pretty,
Well, I don't.
sexual.
Well, this is not a sexual one, and I think it's. I think
Not
it's well
yet.
done.
We don't know what the DLC is gonna look like.
There's never been an esports visual novel to
You
what
two
I-
could get to fuck MC or whatever. That'd be great.
You guys are idiots. Anyways, check it out, guys.
Why are you criticizing him for his sexual preferences? I thought this was a sex positive show. I thought we were actually progressive here. Fuck.
Anyways, check it out, guys. It's really good. If you enjoy, anyway, just more of the visual content type of media, it's very well done. And I'm you know, it's with a lot of the projects that, you know, we've done the whole Broken Promises show or like episodes on this show before, but it's good to see that this one actually went, you know, completed.
Steve,
and was what?
Stream what? The visual novel?
Yeah, do a
Total Biscuit already got on that money train.
Did he?
Who did?
Fucking John,
I think Total Biscuit already streamed some of it, didn't he? I thought I saw a stream on with it.
I think he. Well, I don't know if he did. He stream it. I know he talked about it some at one point, but I never got a chance to actually play it when it first came out. I played the beta a while back. Like Tim let me play a little bit way back when, but I didn't get a chance to start really playing the full version until about a week and a half ago. So
yeah, I might stream a playthrough of this. Yeah. This will be good.
But
I definitely.
I mean, I think it's a pretty good representation.
It'll be the most StarCraft 2 you've ever.
I know exactly.
Yeah, I know. No, but like next time I host an event, I'll be able to work references in. So, is he going for the all-in tactic right now? Like he'll be like that. So yeah, I can't wait.
All right, well let's see. What else we got here? You guys got any kind of Reddit thread of the day for us? Or no? You guys look today, because I didn't actually get a chance to check with you guys pertaining to this.
Well, way to go. I wish I would have been notified beforehand.
What are you talking about? It's like sitting right here, like the whole time, man. Ridiculous.
Read the syllabus. You're that professor.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly, I am. All right, well, if I guess we don't have that, we're going to go into Q&A in just a second, but I did want to talk a little bit or make an announcement that, you know, I did, as you guys can see, I started a Patreon page for Unfiltered. And it has mostly to do with the fact that we decided to do these shows regularly again. And for me, it means
I thought we were just doing like a 2-off. Wait, is this actually like a regular thing? Did we talk about this?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. But for me, it's going to be something that I'm going to be spending full time on. Just this show and, you know, some of my other content too. So I created a Patreon page so that you guys can support the show. A lot of people have asked how to support the show in the past, and I've never had any way for you guys to do it outside of buying those 100 shirts so that Richard could be off the show. But that obviously didn't really resonate with you guys so much. But I figured this would be the best way. Also, I wanted to.
Oh shit!
What? You idiot. Anyways, I also wanted to.
Our Reddit thread of the day. If you're still looking for it.
Sorry, okay, we'll do it in a second.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
But I wanted to also kind of build. I wanted to build a community around the show too. Before I didn't focus much on anything else except for the content for the show. Just really developing it and really, you know, just getting the process of getting these shows out like each and every week for you guys and having it entertaining with the two guys here. Just trying to make it as easy as possible for everybody and didn't really look at anything outside of that, really focusing on you guys, the fans. So this time around, I really want to try to build a community. The Patreon gives me an ability to do that too because of some of the fun rewards and that sort of thing. Want to include you guys on trying to make this show just better. Any kind of feature segments, you know, I want to hear from you guys. So that's one of the things that some of those rewards will allow you to be able or just be privy to. But yeah, so if you've enjoyed any of the past episodes of Unfiltered or just really, really love the show, consider contributing to the Patreon and, you know, taking that next step with me, trying to make this show better than it's ever been. If not, you know, spam sell out. That's fine. It's all good. But okay, what is this link that you're talking about here?
Apparently, Lyric admitted to drunk driving on stream. A bunch of people got fucking rustled as fuck about it. And apparently was deleting threads and shit. I don't know. Fuck.
Who did?
Somebody linked it to me. Lyric.
What? Oh, gosh.
Uh-oh.
Bring it up. Bring it up.
Am I allowed to actually show Lyric's stream here? Jeez, I don't even know the rules
show.
anymore.
This is protected by fair use. This is news. What the fuck, no?
You tell him, Steven.
All right, let's see what's going on. Just now, or you mean like yes, or... Oh, this is a VOD, right?
Yeah.
Is this today?
This is fairly recent.
Oh, gosh. Let me see this.
Right,
link it in chat.
I haven't actually watched this yet. I was linked to this in my stream chat and I was reading the thread.
Oh, man. It's going to be something stupid if it's linked to you from chat. While we're doing this, guys...
Well, my chat, okay. Not your crazy
right,
chat, but my reputable chat.
True. All right. Your chat's actually more... or better.
I've pasted one in the chat for you as well. So there you go.
God, all right.
God. Kill yourself.
There you go.
Oh shit, I hope Light didn't hear me. I'm just kidding.
No, it's from our beheadings. It's pretty good.
Oh
The joke, you
our-
fucking asshole.
Right. Stop
Can
with the
you-
Muslim
can you
jokes.
Sorry for promotion strategy. What is this? Okay.
It won't even load for me. The Bible
Tom
won't load.
Hanks is brought back. What? This is from beheadings?
No,
No, I am a joke.
beheadings.
Oh, okay.
No
I was
one's
gonna
getting
say-
beheaded,
I was
Chris.
like,
Come
what
on.
the fuck, man? I was like, what the fuck?
Why?
What
It's
do you
always
want?
beheadings
What
for
is in
you.
this? What is this?
Jesus.
I know. This guy.
Well, link it to them. Link it to the stream chat.
Right, okay.
The first way to
well,
Reddit's
there you
new
go.
celebrity
So this is
promotion
if
strategy.
you can make it big, I recommend you do.
Fuck, man.
But basically,
Jesus.
this was kind of it wasn't really a leak, but it was talking about the first wave of Reddit's new celebrity promotion strategy. This was on a few subreddits that I like to frequent. I certainly recommend subreddit Cancer, which is a great sub. It basically focuses on kind of corporate influence and modern admin abuse and petty corruption. Anyway, this was a mail, a sort of post that was sent to other mods and stuff, and it talks about how they want to introduce a nice culture for our celebrity friends to basically be able to interact with and come into. And this ties into why you've seen so much censorship on Reddit and so many different kind of subreddits are banned. You know, they want guys like Tom Hanks to be able to post on Reddit regularly. They think that adds value to the site. It certainly does in monetary terms. Because obviously advertising and all that. Imagine if you said, "Hey, Reddit's the super cool website where you can maybe get to talk to Tom Hanks and tell him he hasn't made a good film in 20 years or whatever."
Sure,
You know?
sure.
So it's all there. It's all there, and they're talking about it. There's a few paragraphs that are particularly interesting. You know, and how this is the way that the website's going to go basically in the future. That anything that hurts people's little fees. Will be banned in case it hurts a celebrity's fees. And there you go. So you can see it all for yourself.
Whoops. All right. Why you're? I just got this tweet that you banned Exagito. Really?
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Why?
He's an infiltrator and a spy. Fuck that guy. He's a retard.
Wait, what are we?
Wow.
Who is
okay.
this
I
guy?
don't think he was.
He's applied for like the LOL mods like a bunch of times. Like he used to mod my stream,
Oh,
and then
really?
it was like he was like feeding information to like the LOL mods about what an asshole I am and stuff.
Oh,
and it's
wow,
like,
okay.
like I've seen in the fucking applications how many times he's applied. Like it's tragic. This guy, like he just wants to be an all LOL moderator so fucking bad. Right? Yeah, just fuck him. He's better off out the chat. I don't like him. So. You ban me from your space, bro. I banned you from my space. Welcome to the internet.
God.
Get fucked.
All right. Well, let's go into Q&A here. We got some questions here from you guys. And actually, I forgot one thing. I forgot to do is actually mention the URL. Some people are only listening to audios here. The URL to the Patreon, guys, is patreon.com/value. Not value. Unfiltered. Patreon.com/unfiltered.
Fucking piece of shit.
Oh gosh. All right. So we got. Oh boy, this one. Oh boy, this is gonna be a good one. So Maciej, I don't know, Spraka, I don't know how to pronounce this. I think it's a Polish name. What did you guys think about Anita Sarkeesian and Zoe Quinn's speech at the UN? I'll just keep it at that question.
I didn't even watch
Go
it.
for
I
it,
heard
Steven.
about it. I didn't even watch it. I heard about it. I think it's sad. I don't know. I don't like to think about any of that. It's just really sad. All of that is.
Richard, did you watch any of it?
Yeah, I made a video about it, which I released today on my YouTube channel.
Oh, today?
Put it out
I
there.
thought, wow, it's
Well,
about
the thing
this?
is, I made a video at the time, but I didn't have time to sort of get it out, so I put it out today. It's up on the Kotaku in Action subreddit now, so shout out to those guys.
Got it.
But basically, to clarify a few things, a lot of people are saying that it was a meeting with the UN. I myself have kind of made this mistake. I think it's worth pointing out that it was just a meeting with the UN Women, which is an offshoot of the UN that has achieved even less than the real UN has in the past 4 years. Which is, yeah, I know. It's like
What?
it's beyond a fucking joke, isn't it? I mean, when you
Wow.
consider the UN are, I mean, they put they had Saudi Arabia chair like a fucking board of like human rights or something. Like the UN are like, you know, they're fucking way out there in terms of how fucked up and ineffective they are. But anyway, like I said in the video, there's report that was presented is one of the worst sourced pieces of academia I've ever seen. And in fact, I've urged journalists to take it, get it sent to a respected academic institution, whichever one you want, and have it marked and graded. It wouldn't pass muster. It would be rejected. It would be considered a fail. They use sourcing from the year 2000, where you have like an army lieutenant who also is a psychiatrist talking about how satanic games are that are made by Nintendo. This is actually a source in this fucking report. And on top of that, we managed to unearth a study which is also linked in the YouTube video. In fact, I'll give you the link in the chat now so people can see just how much bullshit is going on. Here you go. It's the PDF. So I'll send it out there. ChanMan, you can send it out to all of your friends or get your bots to do it. Anyway, this proves conclusively that it isn't even a female issue. In fact, men are statistically more likely to have a negative experience on the internet. They're statistically more likely to encounter abuse that's listed here. 44% to 37% male and female disparity in favor of men. And what's interesting is a greater percentage of women are more likely to describe that experience as being, like earth-shatteringly, profoundly bad and negative, whereas about 17% of men, I think it is, are likely to say that, while the rest just sort of get on with it. So I think it's very interesting to read that study, and that study completely contradicts everything Zoe Quinn and Anita Sarkeesian were presenting to the UN. It's not a female problem. Abuse on the internet is a problem that faces anyone. There's absolutely no statistical or scientific data that would make out that the abuse is women targeted. It's women specific. For me,
the problem, people get so hung up on like the words. Like if somebody goes online, they're gonna say whatever words they want to piss you off. With women, it happened, like, they'll call a man, they'll be like, you fucking dick-ass fucking piece of shit motherfucker, right? And then they'll say to, like, women, they'll be like, you fucking bitch-ass piece of shit motherfucker. And then people are like, he called her a bitch, that was sexist. Like, no, it's not. It's just anonymous people on the internet acting like fucking assholes. It's not like a targeted gender thing. Like, there are people that will make, like, targeted gender slurs and shit, but it's not like they harass you because they're a female. They probably say the same fucking stupid shit to men. Not to say that women don't face some unique problems online, because they do, the constant rehash fucking jokes and shit. But it's the same problem that, like, any fucking, that black people will face, or somebody that sucks at the game will face. Like, fucking, like, I mean... Yeah, I don't know. There's like that whole myth of like the fact that harassment on the internet isn't like all of a sudden now it's a thing, because women on the internet is, to somebody that's dealt with it like extensively, like more so than most people ever have or ever will. Same thing with Richard Lewis and even ChanMan. Like it's kind of annoying to hear some random fucking little girl goes on Reddit and cries that somebody, called her a bitch in one game and that it's all sexist and shit. Like, fuck off. Like, you don't know fucking shit about internet harassment, please. Like, sorry. Are we playing the Impression Olympics right now? Go ahead,
yeah, exactly. And, I think there's certainly, somebody made the point today, like saying, what's wrong with women starting the dialogue? Absolutely nothing. Yeah. Let's have a conversation about abuse on the internet. Like, I don't want us to get to the stage, like in the UK, we're sending people to jail over Facebook posts and tweets. Well, that's actually happening. I don't want that to be happening. That's ridiculous. It's just a waste of resources, time. You're criminalizing people for doing nothing. I mean, obviously there's limits, but it's like I made the joke last week. It's like if you go on Facebook and you're harassing parents who lost a child by pretending to be that child, come back from the dead, and make a Facebook account, like that's the first thing you would do if you came back from the other side. You're a piece of shit. It's a horrible thing to do. But again, there's ways those people can insulate themselves from that. I don't think that person necessarily needs to go to jail. Maybe they get some sort of ban from fucking Facebook. Maybe they get an internet ban. Like, I don't even know what's appropriate, right? But like, let's find where the line of appropriateness is. So I have no problem with women going first. The problem is that their presentation, specifically to the UN, blames men and excludes men from the conversation. Yeah. Well, I haven't got time for that at all. And I think it's ironic that a group that constantly talks about privilege, it's white privilege, it's male privilege this, privilege that. I wish I was privileged that I could go and whine to the UN about my Reddit ban, for example, yeah? I don't get to do that. The abuse I get on the internet, no one wants to listen to all the shit that I deal with. So that's actually a point of privilege, isn't it? I think we can all agree at being able to bend the UN's ear to listen to your problems specifically and get a mandate to do something about it. Sounds hella privileged to me. So yeah, I think the whole thing's ridiculous. The good news is, like, for all the people up in arms about it, I don't think anything will come of it, because that would mean the UN would actually have to follow through and do something they've actually failed to do to date in the entirety of their existence.
Hey, since we didn't have a Reddit thread, if that there's a guy in chat called Ricky B something. If he wants to come on and argue, he can go ahead and feel free to come make his points. If there's something that he thinks that I'm being incredibly inconsistent on, if we're looking to fill content. Sorry, until I just know I'm talking a lot of shit in chat.
Who is it?
Ricky B something. He's not gonna say anything now, but.
All right, hold on. Let me see.
No, he's not gonna come on. He won't. There's not in a million years, dude. Just move to the next thing.
All right, the next thing we got here is Trolls Person asks Richard. He's got 3 questions. I think. Richard, did you ever find evidence of betting and bribes concerning betting to fold games in esports and write an article? Have you ever?
So he's talking about the StarCraft thing that was going around lately. I'm pretty sure we all remember this case, which was when.
Remember? You mean when this happens like every other week, and every single time betting patterns have come out to be suspicious? Those games have always been lost in weird fashions. Yeah, I remember this. But for some reason, I don't want to talk about it. Sure.
Yeah. And that's actually true. No one wants to talk about it. So I had several people contact me, and they were like, look, here's some conversations that have took place. Here's some strange results, and here's blah, 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 everything that's going on. And Blizzard are aware of this, and Blizzard haven't done anything about it. Blizzard are conducting their own investigations. So I looked into it, and I did some digging, and I sort of held off publishing any news, because it felt like all I was really going to do was just regurgitate stuff that we all knew anyway. We all know it's happening. Like, until you can get on one of these betting sites and prove that, first of all, actual bets have been placed, and then second, you have to prove collusion, you have to prove that there's a conspiracy in place, you haven't really got anything by just speculating on the information. You know, I did this with the match fixing stuff, and that's why it took 6 months to bring the CS:GO match fixing over the line. And I only
even
got
that, it takes like somebody fucking up hardcore and making like a big like admission of guilt.
Yeah,
like,
well, that's exactly what happened. His girlfriend did it for him.
Yeah. So somebody has to come out and do that, otherwise. Yeah.
So what we would need, is like somebody to flip. We would need someone with a guilty conscience, or we would need one of those gambling insiders to want to effectively bring down their own business. It's just highly unlikely we're ever going to get to the bottom of it. But I've said for the longest period of time that I think it does have a problem. Like, it does, there obviously is a gambling and betting problem around StarCraft 2, and right now the game is so fucking dead. You can't blame people, can you? Right? Like, for wanting to fucking fix and throw matches, like, you may as well get what you can before it fucking, the last swirl down the toilet, right? So
Jesus fucking Christ!
Wow. Jeez.
I would like to say that these opinions are Richard Lewis.
Exactly.
No, I'm against
getting a lot
again,
of more.
What I try and do is I try and empathize with people in that position. Like, for example, the only way you can ever have match fixing in any competitive sport in esports is if people aren't getting paid. If there's not enough money.
Yeah, sure, but it's like you're going like, I feel like you're going like a little bit too thorn on it, where like instead of just saying like the way to phrase that diplomatically would have been like, StarCraft 2 is kind of like in a lull right now for its audience. Like, I can understand people not really wanting to tackle an issue that could damage a sport that's already kind of struggling in the scene. Like, that would have been like a more, rather than like Polish people hate black people and they throw bananas at them and ooh like all the time.
Hey, come on, like let's just get back to
wow, you just summed up and filtered it. Summed up and filtered in like one sentence.
I'm just saying though, like, okay, so that's why look, if you were looking at your future as a StarCraft pro right now, are you optimistic about the future? Do you think, hey, I'm gonna be doing this for 5 years?
That's what I was saying. Like, I totally agree with you. It's just damn, like, we didn't have to go so fucking hard on it.
But I thought this was unfiltered. This is you don't understand, Stephen. I've tried to explain this to you a million times. This is like this is therapy for me. This is fucking therapy for me. I get to say all the shit I can't say anywhere else because it's like lol mods. Stop that, dilly boy.
I mean, there's been betting issues even when like StarCraft was huge, even when Brood War was huge. So it's not. I mean, it has nothing to do with it just because it's like a lull right now.
And like you're living like a god, like fucking Savior was or whatever. Like getting mobbed in the fucking streets. Probably has got groupies fucking blowing in between fucking games. Right, like living the fucking dream. It's never enough. That's the problem with fucking greed and it just fucking keeps feeding and you want more and more. This is the opposite end of the spectrum. This is like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? Like, I'm streaming a game. I got $500 this month, 494 to be precise. Or whatever it is.
Well, actually, not even the opposite end of the spectrum, because when Savior started all that stuff, I'm pretty sure that a lot of people involved in that match fixing were B teamers that weren't making a lot of money.
Well,
either,
there we are.
so.
Yeah, actually, in fact, you're absolutely right. So, there we go. But like, okay, so maybe he was big at one point, but then again, so that's the thing. You have a taste of it. You start hitting the downslope. You're like, hang on a minute, I was making fucking, 10 grand for an appearance.
Oh, sure, I wasn't even talking. Savior himself wasn't somebody who was throwing his matches. He was the one, I believe, who organized it, right? ChanManV? I should know this.
I believe he was more.
But I think that was Savior was the guy that organized it. Yeah, and I think that the primary people that were taking advantage of it were like the B teamers that weren't making much money, if anything. I think there's somebody more well versed in that, but yeah.
So like I say, if you wanna stop match fixing, like there's it's about balance. You can't give people too much and you can't give people too little. And right now, the reason that it would be happening in StarCraft, if it is happening at all, is because people are earning too little and the future's uncertain. Blizzard could actually do a lot to stop this if they wanted to.
How do we regulate it? Well, how do we regulate it?
Blizzard's Blizzard's doing all they can for live sport in the scene. If WCS didn't exist, I don't know what StarCraft would look like today, honestly. Yeah. No MLG, no NASL, no IPL, reduced support from DreamHack. To be fair, I don't know what Blizzard could do in terms of regulating gambling. I really don't even know what they could do. But they have supported the scene with their tournaments. So maybe it's too little, too late. But I mean, I don't know. I think that they're trying at least.
Yeah, I mean, so look, and again, I'm not ragging on Blizzard. I'm just saying this, because I like them and I respect what they do. It's just there's definitely ways you could fucking get on top of this problem and hamper it. And what I'm worried about is, okay, if we know that there's a problem there, the culture of silence is the worst thing to do. We've seen this time and time again. If you don't talk about cheating spreads. If you don't talk about people match fixing spreads, because people start getting away with it. It all builds up, and then you end up with something cataclysmic like the Savior thing where it kills a whole fucking game. And that's why we need to be talking about it and addressing these issues, we've conducted internal investigations, nothing to report here. We need to be public and transparent as much as possible. That's what stops corruption.
Yeah, but is it Blizzard that puts people on this to go and basically investigate every little lead? I mean, is that what you're saying basically? I mean,
it's not. The weird thing is that, and somebody can get me wrong, but because every time I've seen a thread pop up on this is what seems to be happening quite a bit. There will be a bet that gets canceled because there's some suspicious shit going on, and then whenever the game actually comes around, the game appears to be thrown in the manner that's consistent with how the betting appeared to be, which. Can somebody in chat tell me if I'm wrong? If there have been examples of this went to happen and the game wasn't, it didn't actually look like it was thrown or whatever. Can somebody correct me wrong? Because it seems like every time there was the Violet thing happened, there's been the big MKP thing happened. There were a couple of instances where every time the bet was canceled, the games were thrown in accordance with how the betting rigging looked like they should have been thrown. Yeah. Is there anybody that can correct me if I'm wrong? That's what it felt like every time I read a thread. It seemed like everything played out exactly as you would have expected to if it would have been match fixed. So it seems strange that there's not more people talking about that. I don't understand.
Anyway, chaps, I have to leave you with this. I gotta go. Yeah. I gotta do my sick Alpha Draft money-fueled show. Don't end it.
No, we can wrap up. Man. No, we can wrap up anyway. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Cool.
But let's just do some shout-outs. I think just the viewers. Thanks for your questions. Maybe we'll get to. Should we just do one more before? Well, let's just wrap up. We'll wrap up and we'll try to figure out a different time, maybe next week, so that we don't.
Well, no. What I'll do is I'll see if we can even just have a half-hour buffer. We can push the Alpha Draft show by 30 minutes. But then again, they do pay ChanManV and you don't. So I reckon Alpha Draft will be like, nah, you got to move. You can fight it out with Alpha Draft, basically. That's how I look at it.
Or we can just do it again, on a different day.
Yeah.
But let's do some shout-outs. Richard, you want to shout out? Yeah, start off.
Obviously, shout out to you two guys. Love working with you. I'm so glad the show's back. It's really good therapy for me. This will stop me going full total biscuits. As long as we keep doing this show, I'll never have to shut down YouTube comments. Shout out to all of my fans and people who consume my content. Shout out to all the subreddits that are highlighting the things that need to be highlighted. You know who you are. And of course, thanks to all of the viewers for this one. Thanks to Alpha Draft for paying me for the show that I'm about to do. And there you go. I love you all.
Promoting betting sites. That's Steven's favorite. Steven, shout outs.
Thanks to everybody that watches. Thanks to everybody that subs to me. Thank you to Twitch and Blizzard for being wonderful people, wonderful partners who could do no wrong in my eyes. None of the things that Richard Lewis said that were mean about you are shared by me. I think I've covered my bases. Oh, thanks to ChanManV for having me shown. Thanks to Richard Lewis for showing up.
Thanks, Steven.
All right, and I'll wrap things up with thanks to you guys, the two of you guys. For doing the
Everyday
show.
Carry.
Everyday.
Hey, if you guys like to carry things around, make sure you go to that website and sign up. You can post your everyday carry. You can show pictures. You can get enter for like giveaways and stuff for people that give away. Or they sometimes have giveaways based on, I guess, whatever like the trending topic is for shit. So yeah, check that out.
Dude, how many websites do you have, dude?
Just right now, it's just everyday carry. Everydaycarry.com.
What about Destiny.gg and?
Well, that's my website. Do I need to go to Destiny.gg? Sub.
Okay. Right. Oh, I thought Everyday Carry was your website for some reason. Okay.
No, what the fuck?
I don't know. Jeez, I've never been there. I thought it was for some reason. All right. Well, I just want to thank you guys, obviously, for doing the show each and every week. I think it's always a lot of fun. Just these 3 hours, and getting a chance to do it again each and every week is going to be a lot of fun. And of course, thank the viewers for all your questions today. I wish we'll get to more next week, I promise. So if you want to re-ask some of them, go ahead and do that. No big deal. But thanks for watching the show as always, and again, you can support the show at the patreon.com/unfiltered, and the VODs will be up. VODs, audios, all that stuff's going to be the same, even with the Patreon. I'm going to have them up on YouTube, and the audios, I know people have been asking for iTunes. They're all there. I've got it submitted to iTunes, but it's taking a long time for some reason to update the feed URL, so any second now, guys, the Unfiltered sound MP3s or just podcasts will be available on iTunes, so definitely look out for that. This one will be on there too. But that's going to be it for Unfiltered this week. So for Richard Lewis, Destiny, and myself, ChanManV, see you next time. Later.
Peace.